like 8 or 6.
All right, you can go ahead.
The uttermost.
Yeah. All right, Shalom. Hey, we would like to start off by giving our honor and glory to Yahweh, by Shem, Yahushua, by Shura Kakadash. Hey, double honors to our apostles, great millstone, Ruel, and peace and blessing house of everything elect. And I have to say, we do have some very special guests with us in the Mississippi camp this afternoon. All right, the elder brother Taizawan, all right, from the Wisconsin camp. The brother Lamar, also from the Wisconsin camp. All right, here visiting us. And today we're going to go into a live stream, all right, entitled Gross Darkness to People. Because, they have this thing called the Matrix. And in the Matrix, there's a red pill to what's going on in the world, and there's a blue pill to what's going on in the world. And the blue pill is wool pulled over your eyes. Once you take that wool from your eyes, you see everything for what it is. And the fantasy that was sold to you about the reality that we lived in was just that. It was a fantasy. All right, so we're going to get into the scriptures, all right, and prove to you, all right, basically, the Most High is not in this place. All right, and when you take the element of God out of a nation, all right, the only thing is left is human nature. And when you have only thing you have is human nature, what do you have? Basic instincts, animal nature. So that's why we have a dog world right now.
Beast-like mentality.
It's a beast-like mentality, like the brother was going into a while back. The people take on a vibration of the kingdom that is in. Now, this kingdom was called a beast for a reason. All right, and look what it did to the world through European colonization. All right, first when it came as the Romans, then when it came back as European colonization. They ruled the world in a beastly manner. But the citizens within that kingdom, they took on the vibration of those kings. All right, so now people have the vibration and the spirit of an animal or a beast. All right?
Yeah, Isaiah 60. It's Isaiah 60 and 2. For behold, darkness shall cover the earth, those darkness, the people. But the Most High shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
It says darkness shall cover the earth. All right. I know the elder brother's about to get into the word of gross darkness. All right, but that's getting into the vibration or the state of the people that's on the planet Earth right now. And it just so happens to coincide, all right, with the vibration, the state of mind that people were before the flood. All right, and what you're gonna find out is the more it's really talking about our people. All right, specifically it's all about our people because the other nations, they're already beast-like because they have no laws to civilize them. That's why Moab eat a snake, they eat a lobster alive. All right, but ultimately it's the people on earth, but ultimately it's our people. But if you look at the time of Noah was a degeneration from the time of Adam. When we were doing the time of Adam, we were closest to our maker. Then we started to deviate from our maker, and we went into more of a beast-like state. And then when we reached the culmination of that, what did the Most High do? He gave us a reset. So now what it says in Scripture, as it were the days of Noah. The state of man before the flood is like the state of man now, which that shows you what time we're coming into.
And in fact, if I can add, when you go into it, I believe it said that the people did everything that their heart desired or their imagination. It was straight up pure. Yeah, I was trying to get that proper word.
And it was just beautiful that you brought that out because it draws back to the essence of our lesson. People going off their own nature.
Right.
Contrary to popular belief, the Most High didn't create us to follow our heart. You know how to say follow your heart? Your heart is your mind. Can somebody get that in Proverbs real quick? Following out the ways of your heart or your mind? It's probably like 3:25 or something like that.
That's
all right.
You want that, Jess?
Yeah, you get that, Justice.
Real quick, just to hit what the elder just said. This ain't what you call for, but this kind of goes into it. This is Jeremiah 17 and 9. The heart is deceitful above all things.
So you got, in order to understand something, you have to understand the nature of something.
Right.
The reason why the dog whispered, they got it. Dog. The reason why he's so good with dogs, he understands the nature of dogs. Yep. Right. See, in order to understand yourself, you have to understand your nature. When you understand the Most High, you're going to find out that your ways are contrary to the Most High. Right. Pursuant to Colossians, the 3rd chapter, might be the 2nd or the 4th, but it said that he wrote these laws that were contrary to us. Yep. Because you have a beast-like nature outside of the law, statutes, and commandments.
Which is going into what you were speaking on about the flesh.
The flesh.
The flesh.
Your flesh has a nature.
Yep.
It has a program.
Your flesh has a mind of its own.
It has a mind of its own.
Right. All right. That's what the scripture says. Jeremiah 17:9. The heart, which is your mind, okay, is deceitful above all things.
All right. That's why. All right. We're not meant to be walking around saying follow your heart, because your heart is fickle. Yeah. That's why relationships come and go. And, you know, all these little fickle stuff. Because people have no structure to go by, they go off their own impulses.
Baby mama, baby dad.
That's why they got these things. That's why they have these words that you don't read about the scriptures, like the infatuation phase, the honeymoon phase. Right. That's not in the scriptures. All right, because those emotions come and go. All right.
You got that
part. Okay, it's to finish up. It says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know?"
So the nature of your flesh, because your own mind governs itself. Your flesh governs itself. It's desperately wicked. So you have to understand, as a not only as an Israelite man, but as a human, if I don't have any divine order over my flesh, I'm going to basically be an animal. And the Most High set up your flesh to self-destruction. If y'all ever saw this movie, Cradle to the Grave, it's been a long time since I saw it. But the one, with DMX.
Yeah, well, okay, with DMX.
The woman he was with, I think he got suspicious that she would start using his drugs behind his back. So what he did, one day he switched out the drugs with battery acid. So she did do the drugs, she wasn't gonna mess with it. But if she did do the drugs when she thought she was slick, she ended up slipping battery acid, and it made her go crazy. So that's how the Most High did your flesh. You think you're doing something behind the Most High back, but what you didn't know was, if you do something behind it, if you go after your flesh, he already hardwired your flesh for self-destruction. Your flesh is already programmed to self-destruct. So even if you choose to go after your own heart or your own mind, the end result is you're going to die.
Destruction. Real quick, just to go off your point, Elder. This is Isaiah 51:20. Thy sons have fainted. Yeah, thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets.
And when it says that thy sons, talking about the Israelite man's sons. This is the result of us not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shai, which manifests in these major cities, and you literally see Jacob outside on the corner. All right.
Thy sons have fainted; they lie at the head of all the streets. As a wild bull in the net.
Why is it a wild bull in the net? This is our people who have to suffer the shame of their God departing from them. This is our people. That's why you see our people with t-shirts that say savage, you know, beast. Because what happened if you go into the history, gorilla. All right, gorillas don't eat their feast. All right, if you go into the history of the concept of God, if you go into the history, if you go into the history of the concept of the Most High over His people, that the closer you are to the Most High, it's the stronger your civilization. All right, when you depart from the Most High, then you start to deviate into a more tribal state. That's why the Aboriginals look a certain way, they act a certain way. Gad in America, when Esau came here, they were far gone from the law, statutes, and commandments, so they were very primitive. The difference between this kingdom and that kingdom is that this is a superpower. So we have the conveniences and the technology of a superpower, but the citizens here are on a very primitive vibration because they have no concept of God in their bodies.
When you say that, brother, think about apocalypto.
Exactly.
When it's all about the Most High. Then they start they start doing. They start sacrificing. They start sacrificing. You see how went from the Most High, they went all the way down. So sacrificing, like, man, and you really think about that
to the point where they was eating people. They was eating each other.
Killing people, cut their heads off. Sun God, workman. Look, we feel from Yahweh Shai. He took it from him. He turned back on us. So our people went on down. They went on down to the ground.
That's the result of the element or the concept of Yahweh Shai not being with these people.
That's why it's going to finish it up. It says they are full of the fury of the Lord Yahweh.
They are full of the fury of the Lord Yahweh. And what the Most High did, He used His sword to further that, to beat us down some more. because we're just talking about some of the attacks against our people, and one of those attacks is what? The welfare state. Now, we might not understand the value because how we were raised in Babylon, but the welfare state took the Israelite man out of his household. And what's the nature of a man? To rule over his house. And what he does, he dominates and civilizes his son. Because your son, when he's born, he has a stubborn, untamed nature. So the nature of a father is to tame his son. That's why it says in 1 Ezra 4 that wine maketh the king and a fatherless child the same. What's the nature of a fatherless child? Undisciplined. He's going off his instincts. So the job of a father is to dominate and civilize his son. But it says our son's like way is a wild bull in the net. So that's the result that shows you there's no father figure there. So the Most High used Esau as a tool to further breed us down, man.
And just to touch on it, when it says a wild bull in the net, now think about a bull. A bull is uncontrolled. You can contain it, depending on the right person to contain that bull. But as far as a wild bull, it's uncontrollable. Yeah. And that's the mentality of Jacob. Jacob shoot a nigga in the head because he stepped on the shoe. You'll be in a gas station and you'll be arguing over something petty and they end up going at it.
On site.
On site, you know? And then that's what starts these clashes with the wars and the little gang wars, the street wars and things like that, man. And see what Esau did though, Esau through Yahweh Shemal Shah. Remember Psalms, 17 and 13 said that he's the sword. Yeah. So what Esau did was he put us in the projects. He put us closed in. If an animal closed in, or a human or animal closed in together, by default they're gonna go by instinct. If you're seeing this wall every goddamn day, when you look out the projects, there's another project building, and there's people there. You're just seeing them every day. All the testosterone, all those emotions, all those feelings. Here goes the killings, the rapings, the shootings, the murders, and all those things. The adulteries, all of that, man. You know, so
I mean,
you know, I'm saying so now we see the result of going back to what you were saying of not following the law, statutes, and commandments.
That's why I said a wild bull in a net.
You're trapped.
You're trapped in that. And then you trapped in your environment.
And what's that trap? That trap is in there.
The
trap is Babylon.
Well, can somebody get that real quick before we continue on Isaiah 42:22?
You know, I think about this like they put nets and I love killer whales, right? They put they capture killer whale. They had nets. So the killer whale trying to get the fuck up out of there.
Yep.
And then same like we the net. We in the net. We trying to break up out of it. We can't get him out.
And that's why it says that we're systematically oppressed.
That's right.
If you look up the word oppressed, it literally means to press. So the 12 tribes are pressed down. How so? There's already a system rigged to where you and your family can't own certain houses. Right? There's already systems rigged when they find out your social security number, they know you're a so-called ethnicity. So they've already, if you watch the movie Them, the series Them, they were showing how the bankers did it. They already had it set up systematically where the niggas gonna stay on this side of town, and the Edomites gonna stay on this side of town. You're oppressed. The certain demographic, they're known for the suffer from income disparities. That's oppression, right?
I got you. This is Ecclesiasticus 5:2. It says, "Follow not thy own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart."
Right. And no, that was beautiful what we were talking about prior, but like that beastly nature. So the Most High already had it set up to where you without me is an animal. All right. It's a wild bull in the net. The Israelites in America, they don't know about the Most High. They go, what culture do they follow? You know? You got something real quick?
This is Second Corinthians 4:4. In whom the God of this world had blinded the minds of them that believe not.
Sorry,
This is Second Corinthians 4:3. But if our gospel be hidden, it's hidden to them that are lost.
And our people are lost. That's why it says in Israel not obtain that which is seeking for, but elect have obtained and the rest are blinded.
Verse 4. In whom the power of this world.
You can say God. Well, it's talking about Esau. Esau is the God of this world, and he controls the media. He controls how you receive information. That's how you're able to blind our people through the witchcraft.
Whom God of this world had blinded the minds of them that that believe not.
So how is the nation of people able to blind someone's mind? Like we said, through their media. Through their media. That's why it's called TV programming. They're programming your mind with the way that they want you to think. All right.
At least it's a form of psychology. Yeah. See, Esau studies the mind. If I could show real quick, Psalms, what does it say? Psalm 64 about accomplishing a diligent search.
Yep.
So what Esau did was he studied the nature of Jacob. He seen the righteousness in us. He seen the holy thing that we did by nature, by default. They seen the brotherly love when they came and took down the North American Indians. They seen that. They speaking on books on that. They love each other. They're kind to one another. This, that. So they studied that nature and they adapted and they put another nature within us, which was murder, kill. That's why now today they've been pumping up these new rappers, giving them millions and millions, so you can put that image out there so the next man can envy. I want to look like that. Well, I gotta do whatever I can to get there. I don't give a fuck if they're sacrificing my son, my mother, my brother, whatever it is,
I got a word because the brothers down there in Dallas, you have the elders and the bishops down there in Dallas, and they live stream. You get a chance, watch their previous live stream from Friday. But they had the elders and the bishops. They was going heavy into their witchcraft. Elder Knock is heavy into exposing the witchcraft. But he said that music that y'all speaking on is called incantation witchcraft. Now we go into the word incantation. It says a series of words said as a magic spell or charm. And they had even brought it back. I know it's kind of, you got to be a little older to remember that Dougie Fresh song, The Show. They were doing witchcraft even back then, because at the beginning of that song, Dougie Fresh, The Show, what he say? 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on, then it bring it back. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on, then it bring it back a third time. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. Then the song start. He said it was a lot of Jake. Jake's in New York been kind of on that woke tip. Yeah. But he was like, that's the call of incantation. So when you hear these music today, it's nothing but an incantation. Because even you listen like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, pretty much that's sex education. Yeah. Like they go into the details of all these sexual acts. It's really like sexual education for the children. It's forward in that thought culture, but it's all an incantation, man. That's why Jake wake up, his whole mindset is to what? Get money, chase women, and chase status, man.
It basically pleases flesh.
Yeah, that's it. It's all about the flesh.
But it's incantation witchcraft. That's all his media and mostly his music is, man.
I got that Psalm 64. Yeah, you go ahead. Because it's just about, I had made mention of accomplishing a diligent search. Well, going to what the brother was just speaking about, they did a diligent search on how we can manipulate it. And in fact, they used it through the music. They use it through, and what I mean by that is I'm talking about the different tones, the different beats. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the frequencies of the music, which will get your body to gravitate to a different state of mind. When you're in a car, you want to, and I caught myself doing this before, listen to music or whatever, but you got to turn that shit all the way up. You got to put it all the way up. You got to have that shit hit. You got to have that vibration hit. It's a vibration thing.
And you know what? And you know how you be on the enchantments? Because you listen to certain music and you're not in tune with the environment around you. So maybe it's just me, but I be driving, you listen to certain music, like, damn, I missed the exit. You know what I mean? Yep. Or like, damn, like, I should have been got over. You know what I mean? Because you really under a little enchantment. But if you listen to, say, like some smooth jazz and some shit, it's like, nah, you all the way there. So and if one thing music does to our people is that it stops you from thinking. It thinks for you. Yeah, you got it.
Because now, just to hit on it a little bit, because now when you ain't listening to the music, that shit's still playing in your head. And now you're talking to people, you're mimicking what you just heard from a song in your day-to-day conversations. That's that witchcraft.
They got something called oh God damn. I can't even think of the name right now, but it's a part of your brain that if something plays in your brain over and over again, you're gonna be prone to react on it. It's in your subconscious, but it's a word for it. But I can't think of the word, but it's basically a subconscious. That if it plays over your mind over and over again, you gonna react that way. You know, it's like if somebody disrespects you, right? We've been so inculcated in nigga culture. You'll feel wrong if you don't react to that shit. You know what I mean? Although the scripture says, you know, the prudent man foresee the evil, soft answer turns away wrath. In our minds, like you take an L if you avoid a situation.
Yeah. And we like, oh, you a pussy.
Yep.
Oh, you gonna put that nigga talk respect out there.
Yep.
And then that is bad.
But does a king react off of everything? No, we're supposed to be kings and priests. See, the nature of us is royalty, honor, humility. Kings, they don't react to everything that another outsider is doing. They sit back and analyze. They take counsel, and then they act. You see? But now, it's soon as you see something about my mama, and Jake just jump. That's a beast mentality.
And they right there, like you doing that, they doing their action like they affect the whole outcome and everything. It's like king. Say some king did shit out of order. They gonna affect the whole kingdom.
Yep, and it's gonna affect me.
Because of what decision he made, reaction he made after that. They can figure everything else.
Like on Troy.
Yeah.
This man dealt with a woman.
Yeah.
He busted a nut and called the war, man.
Yeah.
This man, you know, he committed adultery. He left from where he was from, his kingdom, and committed adultery in another kingdom. And now that kingdom coming back to bring war.
Right.
You know?
Because he made an impulsive decision.
And that's what you see Jake do on a small level today. Mm-hmm. You know? Jake can shoot it out with a guy, you know, not knowing how connected this guy is. Mm-hmm. And now he know where your mama stay, he know where your auntie stay. So now all that drama being brought back based off what a beast-like decision. You know, because like when you study, like when you watch a lot of ancient movies, the last thing that a king wants to do is go to war because he know how that affects his kingdom. Like he gonna try to exalt every diplomatic option he can before a war. Yeah. You know, but see, in this society, like you say, it's like it's a strike to your ego if you don't go to war.
Yeah, it's a sign of weakness.
It's a sign of weakness.
That's a primitive instinct. Yeah. Going back to the essence of this lesson, everybody is basically animal on an animal frequency. Yeah. Like in prison, somebody get in front of you in line, it's like, oh, so you a bitch. Just like that. Like if you grew up in the hood, somebody bump into you, it's like that. You gonna do nothing. Yeah. Somebody call you out your name, it's like that. He ain't doing nothing. Even the females looking at you like, okay, you weak. Because everybody's on the vibration of an animal. All right. Are you about to bring something out?
The reticular activating system.
Yeah, because I said I couldn't remember the name of the part of that brain. It's the reticular activating system. Okay. Yeah, it's like if you replay something over and over, then that's gonna be your reaction. You know. But yeah, basically, like everybody's on the vibration of an animal now. And you know, you was going into those killers in the hood, right? Now, but that's in our law that if you if you make a mistake and kill your brother, there's a sanctuary city
that you gotta go flee to.
But why? Because his kinsman is gonna he's gonna have. So we already know that's human nature. Yep. We already know that's human nature. Somebody kills somebody you love. Somebody on their end is gonna want to kill you. Yep. And so,
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking. Go ahead.
But the Most High already had laws to regulate human nature. So these killers in Jackson, it's human nature. If somebody kill your cousin, all right, guess what? His people are gonna be out there. So the Most High regulated human nature because human nature is basically animal nature. So we have this flesh. That's just going after the flesh. Like even with the thing with the rape thing, there's no law saying thou shalt rape a woman. The Most High just regulate human nature because it happens.
That's why, like, what's his name? The two brothers.
Yo, Jacob's sons.
They done the same thing.
It was revenge.
Yeah.
Simeon and Levi.
They did the same thing. You my sister. But sometimes they won't think about like they can fake her everything, but they done the same thing that we were talking about.
Jacob was thinking like a king. Yeah. It was just going off their own natural reaction.
Yeah. You know? He's like, that by y'all doing that, they messed up everything.
Yeah. That's how you made the point. Yeah. That's a beautiful point.
Yeah. You got no description there we call? Yep. Proverbs. Yep. Okay. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
The whole repetition of the scriptures is that's why we had the law twice. Because it was Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is like Latin for second laws. And do means two. The me means law or economy managed. So it basically means second law. Like the other Apostle Paul broke it down. The Most High knows the nature of his people. It has to be repetitively taught. Because he knows that these laws are contrary to who you are. It's contrary to your natural devices. All right?
And that's why even when Yahweh shot, he was conditioning people. He kept telling them, feed my sheep. To the point where Peter got agitated the third time. You know, that's just like we used to hear the radio, used to hate to hear this song, they're playing this again. But Yahweh shot was doing it in righteousness. Man. He was conditioning, what you would call it.
Inculcating. Reticular activating system.
Yeah, that's what he was doing that to Peter.
On the right-hand side.
You know, and that's why Apostle Peter, no matter what, he'll get beat. Went to jail, come out doing the same thing. Like me, they go to jail, they get out and do the same thing. Like Peter went to jail for teaching, he came out doing the same thing. You know, it was him. Yeah, he was conditioned.
But like we was going into the laws that us was going into like the laws, how it must be written on your hand. But it said that you tell this to your children every night. You program your sons and daughters when you tell them about the laws every night. Like the phylacteries. Yeah, that's your program. That's
on your posts.
On your posts.
You know, it can stay within.
Yeah. Somebody could quote a Tupac song. Or you know, they in the club rapping Tupac, they wrote the song. It's in them now.
You know, every ad lib, every hook, every you know.
I got that in Genesis. You want that?
Yeah, you jump in.
So this
is
going
back to Isaiah.
Because we back in the spirit, you know, before like the brothers going into before the flood.
Yeah.
You know, that same energy is back.
Yep.
It's Genesis 6 and 5. It says, and the Most High saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Man, why should I read that again? That's now.
Yep.
That is a repeat of what is going on right now today.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
This is Genesis 6 and 5. And the Most High saw that wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
See, so whatever you think, and the thing that is happening now, which we said we are repeating it over and over again. Okay, do it thy will. Okay, whatever you want to do, you're gonna do it. That's that they had that same imagination and vibration back at that time, and it's repeating itself now today. Okay, if you want to be a woman, if you're a man and you want to be a woman, shit. Okay, let me go ahead and cut my rod off. Let me go get these pills. Let's go do this thing. You know, and that's the mindset, which is a beast mentality mindset that they have right now today.
Yeah, you can play with the girls now.
Yeah,
you know,
you know what I'm saying?
You gonna knock out. You know, go whoop your nigga, beat the women in track.
Yep,
kill them. Yeah,
biceps flexing when you're doing it.
You know, you can't even see them on you at the finish line. You know. You just taking off.
Yep.
But that's evil. It's like this is a society that tries to one up them own selves on wickedness.
Yeah.
Like you see what Lil Nas X doing. They really pushing the envelope with him.
Yeah.
They really trying to see what all they can get away with before it's an uproar. You know, I got one more in the same chapter real quick. This is Genesis chapter 6 and 11. It said the earth also was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence. And it's a very violent society, you know, because I think gun violence went up 42% this year. You know, it's a very it's been a very bloody year.
But that's what this place is going to go out by that violence.
Yep.
Revelations 18 and 21.
And that's why we
show that great city Babylon be thrown down through violence.
That's why we keep receiving all these omens. All these different type of moons. All these different blue moons and red moons and pumpkin. Those are omens. And then what happens is you see the vibration of the people getting worse and worse. It's young.
That's right. I got something for you if you're done.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Ecclesiastes 7 and 29. Lo, this only have I found, that the Most High have made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions.
But how did he make us upright? He gave us a system.
It works.
Yep. Yeah, how about Shai, like you said, the breath of life, with a law, statutes, and commandments to dictate our devices. Because one thing they're not going to tell you in Babylon is that you have to be governed. See, the Most High governs us with his laws, then we turn around and govern our families. You know, you're supposed to govern your woman, you're supposed to govern your sons and your daughters. All right, but it says, what did it say again?
This Ecclesiastes 7:29. Lo, this only have I found, that the Most High have made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions.
And one of those inventions was those philosophies that gave you the green light to go off your own devices. That's why the Most High always inculcated, thou shalt not worship no other God before me. Because every idol has a religion. Every idol has a philosophy to run your life. So those inventions were those movements that gave people access to go off their own devices. All right, I had a precept for you. Wisdom of Solomon 9:14. For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain.
Hey, because like I say, really a freestyle.
Yeah.
Because you look at it, when Esau comes up with these philosophies, he knows it's going to destroy the people, but he don't know how bad it's going to be. Like the feminist movement, you look in the 60s, the feminist movement, and then you fast forward it now, you know, then there's 60, 70 years later, who knew that 80, 90% of our women would be useless? You know, like you didn't, like it's uncertain. Like that idea turned damn near a whole population of women, generation of women, to be useless, man.
You know what that word is? It's a degrade.
Yeah.
They've been degraded.
Decadence.
Decadent goes back to degrade. That's why I said like a decadent Roman Empire. Humans, men and women, but morally, it's a moral degrade. And grade goes back like gradus, which means to step. So D means back, grade means to step. They step back.
That's where you get a degree from. You know, when you get your degrees and stuff, that's a downgrade. It's not putting you in the spirit of wisdom and knowledge. Yahweh Shem Shai. You're downgrading with the wisdom of this world. That's why the scripture says the wisdom of this world is foolish. You know,
and like we were speaking of before, and a great example is like you look at Fred Hampton when he was 21. He was a war general. When you look at, he was sharp. He was a real live war general with calculated movement. And then he had that, you know, Jake had that influence to draw people in, and he had you hyped up to the point where he was reaching out to Africa. You know, he was all to unite. But see, now you go to the thug culture. So now you go from Fred Hampton at 21, then you look at Chief Keef at 21. Lil Durk at 21.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
That's uncertain. Like Esau, he know he destroying you, but he don't know how bad you're gonna be. He just put that out there, but now we seeing the effects of it. The Most High is showing his men. Now y'all see why weakness can't exist. See, as judges, we seeing, okay, we see why. Now we get it. That's why it's deeper than just wearing fringes and knowing you Israelite. It's something supposed to click in you. As an Israelite man, we get it now. It's like, okay, this shit can't exist at all.
And can I just land back? Because the Most High creates systems. A proper system is going to reproduce itself. If your culture is efficient, that next generation going to run out those same systems in that culture, and it's going to reproduce itself. But the black culture, it doesn't reproduce itself. Every generation is a downgrade from the last generation. Well, so what's going to be the end result if the Most High don't intervene? Death.
Let's get it real quick. What's that? Isaiah 1:9. You know, because the scriptures cover everything, man. That's why this is the ultimate wisdom. It gives us the perfect perspective of rulership, and it also taught us the experience on why this can't be. It's different, you know. Your parents will tell you, you know, your parents will tell you, look, like when you're young, your parents are telling you, look, you can't hang out with them. You know, you think your parents being mean, you think they don't understand. You see, until you get that experience, now you hanging with this guy that your parents told you not to hang around, and you accessory to a murder now. You know, you charged with receiving stolen goods. And now,
accomplice to a crime.
yeah, now it's making sense. And now we understand. You see, you got it, bro.
Like this Isaiah 1:9.
Yep.
Except the Most High upholds it, had left unto us a very small remnant.
Hey, unless the Lord of hosts left us a remnant, just like the brother said, this is generation keeps getting worse and worse and worse every generation. So unless he pulled out a remnant from amongst that generation and started grooming them in righteousness, all right, what would be the outcome of Jacob, of our nation? Go ahead.
We should have been as Solomon, and we should have been like to Gomorrah.
Who would have been like Sodom and Gomorrah, and that was completely after the flesh.
They were animals.
Yeah, they wanted to pop the angel.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, what are the two guys that, you know,
Bring them out here.
That was gonna rape the angels if they could.
Mhm.
That was knocking a lot out. That was gonna rape the angels if they could.
Yeah.
That's the level that was on. That was like prisoner Jakes.
Bring him out here so we can know him.
Yep.
You know the word know is basically going like sexual.
yeah, sexual relation.
Like sexual relation.
Yeah.
Like sexual relation. I mean, you know him.
And then it got to the point where they didn't even want virgin women no more.
Yeah.
Showing you how far gone they was from righteousness. Like in this society, a virgin woman is looked at as lame. There's something square. You know?
You didn't fuck yet?
Yeah. They looked at, a virgin woman is pretty much not desired in this country, letting you know that this is Sodom and Gomorrah. They'd rather deal with, all type of lewd sexual acts than to actually deal, all right, with a virgin woman.
Let me get this real quick, bro.
Yeah, bro.
All right, Romans 1:26. For this cause, the Most High gave them up to vile affections.
Woo!
For even the women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
It's against nature.
Yep.
And women dealing with women, women denouncing, being mothers and wives, they're going against nature. That's the reason why women are so unhappy, because you're not within your nature. You see, go ahead.
All right. And likewise, also the men, you were talking about
Yep.
the time of Sodom and Gomorrah,
Yep.
leaving the natural use of the woman.
Leaving the natural use of a woman. You see, supposed to be one flesh. All right, go ahead.
Burn in their lust one toward another.
Burn in their lust one towards another, man. And that's what you see happen today, man, because most of your athletes, all right, your entertainers, especially top entertainers, your actors and actresses, they are all within this sexual cult, of this big Babylonian church called Hollywood and sports, man. You see? So this is the society that we live in, man. This is how far gone this society has been removed from righteousness, man. You got it.
Real quick, so I can just look up that word vile in the Greek, and it says
Strong's G 819
atamia, and it means dishonor, ignominy, and ignominy means basically a public shame. Okay, disgrace.
Yep.
Dishonor, reproach, shame, vile.
Yep. And this is society like now. You have parades where people show off their abominations.
Yep.
Now,
sorry, how demonic this place is that we can't go outside in the quote unquote nude, right? We can't show our rod and just walking outside.
Yep.
But they have fucking festivals where transgenders and gay men, they are half-ass naked or naked walking around. They have it's festivals in fucking New Orleans.
Yep.
They got spots in New Orleans. They had a spot in Chicago, Rainbow Beach, where a bunch of punks was all around that beach and they're half-ass naked or get naked.
Yep.
And they do it publicly, and they won't get no ticket. They won't get a crime. In fact, the goddamn police walks the goddamn crowds and shit like that to do the folly, man.
But if you go into a restaurant with two wives and they covered up, you oppressed.
Yeah. Toxic masculinity.
The same Israelite women that have a complex towards Israelite men, they said that Lil Nas X was just expressing himself. They have a thing against heterosexual Jake, but they're pro homosexual Jake.
Yeah.
And they love them motherfuckers, man. They love them motherfuckers. They don't do nothing wrong. Like some bitch don't be talking about like, oh, I had to get my gay friend over her gay friend. They love them gay motherfuckers, man. They love black women just fucking stupid. Dumb.
They into the witchcraft. Well, that's what the serpent basically presented to Eve, man. Philosophy through witchcraft.
Well, I got that voice and said it real quick. Yeah, going back, you gotta bring out this guy. Now this is Genesis 3:1. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Subtlety is crafty, sly, slick. You know, in fact, keen. Meaning you have a keen eyesight on something. You know, so you're gonna manipulate the way to get that thought out in the earth. You know,
it says, which the Lord Yahweh Shai had made, and he said unto the woman, yeah, have the Most High said, you should not eat of every tree of the garden. Now,
philosophy, witchcraft.
Yep. And when you go into the word serpent in the blue letter,
Nakash.
Yep. Nakash. All right. Now you go into the word in Hebrew, Nakash. It says to practice divination, divine, to observe signs. Yep. To learn by experience.
Learn by experience. They put that vibration out, and everybody's getting that demonic experience.
Yep.
Through the through school, you know, through the school, through your hell, through the movies, through game, through the cartoons, college, you know.
Every kingdom was established through witchcraft. Like the Egyptians, the Babylonians, Chaldeans. It all went through those same the left-hand sciences, man.
And it says, diligently observe, practice fortune telling, take as an oath. And going back to what it say, learn by experience, because the Israelite woman is encouraged to do what? Get a career and go experience life. Yeah, you know, don't tie down too early. Go experience. You see, and just like you know that the serpent put that in her, like you can go. You know, you gotta understand, like you gotta look at the Eve and serpent had a long conversation. The serpent was showing us shit, and you gotta understand, like the serpent was telling her, like, look, you went straight from your father to your husband. You never got no youth time. You know, you don't know what you can be. You always under the man. You know how, just like niggas talk. You know what Drake saying? I'm just saying you can do better. That's that shit that the serpent was coming on Eve with, man. You know,
that's why it didn't. And you know what? Who allows the daughter to get a boyfriend? The mother. A father, a boyfriend. What? What that nigga? Wait, who is he? Who is he? You know,
nigga, you look 30.
Yeah, you know? But it be the mother to promote her getting those experiences. Remember this boyfriend, now she had 5 boyfriends throughout high school. You know what I'm saying? And that's a demonic mindset. That's her experience. That's witchcraft.
Yep. You know, because the mom is really in alliance against the dad. But what the daughter and the mama got going on, it blindside the father. He don't know. Yep. Like she might get a tattoo or some shit the dad don't know about. After he don't know shit.
The mother know when she lost her virginity, and the father wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yep.
Because she really supposed to have got married off at around that age. Yep. You know? Brother supposed?
No, you got it.
I think got Romans. Yep. Okay. Romans 1:27, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burning the lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of their error, which was meat. All right, and we'll have to talk about the HIV rate among what demographic. Okay, but this is the result of our people deviating from the laws of Yahweh Shai and being left to self-destruction. Gross darkness to people. Right. So did we get gross darkness?
We didn't go into it though.
The spirit took it. Okay.
But we can jump back into it though.
I got one.
Okay.
This is Job 21:27. Behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. So he know everything. So you can't hide your homosexual. You can't hide that you commit adultery. You can't. He said your wrongful imagination against me. The Lord know everything. No, he know everything we do. So you really can't hide from him, really. Nope. You can't.
Well, it's like we were talking about Thursday, me and brother Yash. The Most High it says he's long suffering. So the Most High not gonna get you when you first do it.
Yeah.
It's a build up. Yep. And then after that build up, it's the destruction.
Right.
You know, Sodom didn't get destroyed when the first homosexual got, came out.
Yeah.
Hey, it was a build up, man.
Yeah, like in Nabia, when we go see Jonah,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't happen right then and there. It's a build up. Same with the miracle.
FBI.
It's the same way. Ain't gonna do it now, but it's coming. It's coming. So, like you said, you got your mind about $1 way. How people say you count your mind $1 again. It's coming regardless how people feel, how people think. It's only destroy America because of all the abominations, all the first you put a lot of people in slavery. You treat a lot of people wrong. We ain't shit. We did that. But guess what? The Most High got gonna judge this place, and which is righteous.
That's right. That's right.
He don't do it because he don't do it like, oh, this is how I feel. I'm doing it how I feel. Right? No, you did something to the Lord's people. Hey, you did something to him, really.
Yep.
So he gonna judge this place, and which is righteous.
Yep. You got something?
I was getting some of the wisdom of Solomon, just because, like we were talking about how when you deviate, from the standard of how about you know shot, pretty much you're open up to everything. Going into the God, Baal Peor, which is God of the openness, the community, man. And what's happening is everybody's open up to everything, man. That's why no wickedness is off the table. Like nobody's saying, "Oh, he went too far," or "She went too far." Is everything's on the table now, Yeah, get wisdom of Solomon.
4:11.
14 and
Okay.
Started 22. And it's just pretty much the society that we're in now, like brothers going into. We got.
If it's like 14:22, oh, this was not enough for them that they earned in the knowledge of Yahweh Shai, but what as they lived in a great war of ignorance. And those who are great played called them peace.
Yeah, it says they erred in the knowledge of the Most High, and they warred in ignorance. And these great plays they call peace. Like when they talking about, like now they're trying to get back to normalcy.
Right.
Well, the normalcy, all right, of this society was actually a plague. Like homosexuality, that's a plague. Adultery is a plague. Degenerate nigga is a plague, but they think that's normalcy.
Hey, you know what I say? Love conquer all things. Love, peace, love, peace, love conquer everything. Love conquer everything. No, it's how they feel. Love, rule over everything. It don't matter.
And that's another enchantment.
Yeah,
It's another enchantment.
Because what they speak about love is not love.
right.
If someone is a homosexual, all right, and that person gets to live, well, that means you hate your nation, because that's gonna spread and destroy the nation. If a nigga is slothful, then if you keep letting him reproduce more slothful niggas, all right, that's gonna destroy the nation. So love is really a discipline. You see, they think love is being passive and go along to get along. That's not love. That's making you destroy yourself.
Yeah, that love is anarchy.
That's really hatred. If you allow somebody, live in that beast nature, like if you allow somebody to stay in the beast nature, that's not love.
It's enabling.
Yeah.
You got it. Verse 23. For witness,
For wouts.
violence that showed that slew their children in sacrifice, or used secret ceremony, and made revealing of strange
rights. And what you have, how do they slay their children today? You got the abortion clinic, or they'll sacrifice their children to the industry. You see, it's like putting them in the fire because it's a torment. They don't tell them what James Smith them all went through, man. They've been passed around with all these different bugged out Edomites, these little freak Edomites, man. You got what's your guy? Other little boy. Dwayne Wade's son. They don't tell what him and Gabriel on what type of ritual they don't put that little boy in, man.
Gabriel Union, she's a habit. Yeah, she's a handle. And that's easy. Gabriel, her spirit, That's the epitome of Eve. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's because really Eve not our woman. That's really Esau's woman. Like, we'll give her the kingdom. That spirit, she had that witchcraft spirit. That's the epitome of Eve.
All the way.
Yeah, she's the poster child.
Yeah, keep it going.
Like verse 24, they kept neither lives nor marriage any longer undefiled.
Yeah, lives and marriage undefiled. That means they kept neither lives or marriages undefiled. Because the scripture tells you that marriage is honorable and a bed undefiled. Yeah, right. So now adultery is nothing. So sleeping with another man's wife, that's nothing. You know, backdoor somebody, that's nothing. Killing, then it said lives undefiled. Killing another person now is nothing to kill somebody else. It's nothing for murder to take place. See, back during the time of Adam, the honor of man, that was big. You know, even in the 60s. You know, Jake didn't have that, kill that nigga. Yeah. He had balance. You're gonna always have balance. But now it's at an all-time, you know, the honor, the concept of honor is at an all-time low right now. Yep.
And well, for what it's worth, but we said that it's at an all-time low. When you go into Acts 1 and 8, you want to pull that up for me real quick.
And you know, that song came to mind. You could take count. This song came to mind when it said they left neither the lives nor the bed undefiled. Mm-hmm. The song with Fat Joe, and it's so hard with Big Pun. Yeah. What's the hook? They want to fuck my wife. Yep. They want to take my life, and it's so hard. But they went right into that. Yep. They left neither the bed or the life undefiled. Yep. You know? And it's that primitive dog eat.
Dog world. Yeah, pretty much. Another man's woman is like a trophy in this society.
Yeah.
You know, if you pop another man, especially someone with status, you deal. You know, first off, fuck you, wife. See, that's clout in this society. Yeah. Okay.
And it's actually really disgusting, man. You know, when you commit adultery with another man's woman, because they're doing, you know, things behind closed doors, you know, with their woman, but then you're coming behind another man and doing those same things.
That's why I said you have seen his nakedness. Yep. Really, you cuckolded.
Yep.
You know, really, you beta male cuckolded. Yep. You know.
Yep. It's nasty.
And that's the biggest thing that pushing hip hop. You want to smash woman? That's the biggest thing. You ain't doing that, and niggas don't want no single woman.
Nope. They want somebody that got a man.
They want that.
That's why I says, going back to the nature of the flesh, your flesh want what it can't have. Mm-hmm. And the flesh actually desires, wickedness more than righteousness. Yeah. That's why women love, what type of men do our women say they love? You know what I'm saying? Thugs, street niggas. Why women so infatuated with tattoos on men? You know, why women so infatuated with a certain energy?
Flesh.
Yeah, it's the flesh. And our women are definitely of the flesh. You know?
Right. But going into Acts 1 and 8, and I had looked it up, when it speaks about the uttermost part of the earth, right? Now read that real quick. It's just a point of Yahushua saying that we were going to be prophesying in the uttermost part. I just want to go into that word uttermost. But go ahead, you read the scripture.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 8. But ye shall receive power. After that, the Holy Ghost is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me, both in Jerusalem and in all of Judea, right? And in Samaria, and into the uttermost part of the earth.
Now, I just want to get about the uttermost. Now, we know that uttermost is talking about, and the uttermost part of earth is talking about America. But when you go into that word uttermost, okay, get the Greek.
Strong's G 2078.
Eschatos, right? Now, when you go all the way down to one of the definitions, it says of rank, a grade of worth, lowest. So this what we're prophesying, that we're at the lowest grade of worth empire that has ever lived. We are at this is a very low place that we're in, a low place society, man. Yeah. When you go into this is where the dry bones was at. That's why Ezekiel said, shit, the angel asked Ezekiel, can those bones live? He said, shit, I don't know. He didn't know because they were dry. Because we are at the lowest point in history.
Yeah, right now. And the key word that stood out was grave.
Yeah,
low was grave. Yep. Because you had the four beasts, right? Well, Babylonian and Syrian Empire, that was gold.
Right.
And the fourth beast, which was an extension of the fourth beast, that was iron mixed with miry clay. Yep. So that's indicative of not only that it's not fully intact, right, but the grade of that kingdom
is destroyed. It's the lowest.
It's the lowest grade, and the people are a reflection of the king of that kingdom.
Exactly.
So now the people in this society, this is the lowest grade of human existence.
Yep.
You know, and it was and it was exemplified in Wisdom of Solomon 14 when it broke down that example of being low grade. Nothing was honored. Marriage is not honored. All right, human life is not honored. All right, human sacrifice. That's what's popular.
First and foremost, the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, is not honored.
Right.
Okay, because when we go to Revelation 8, 11 and 8, it says on how they crucified our Lord. It's talking about here. So if Yahweh Shem Shai is crucified, that by default is going to bring a society or wherever it is that the Lord is not there, a low grade society, man. And this is where we're at. Grows darkness to people, man. You know, you got it, bro.
Let's go. We got a quick precept. All right, 23rd Psalm 23 and 4. And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. All right, in the valley, that's geographically America is a low land, but that's metaphorically speaking on the grade of America. It's morally low. All right, and we've brought out those scriptures that exemplify that.
A valley has a valley has no water. You know, a valley is destitute.
No wisdom.
No wisdom.
No Yahweh Shai.
No Yahweh. They crucified Yahweh Shai here. Okay, go ahead.
The shadow of death. So death is always close to you in Babylon.
Yep.
Right? I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And the rod and the staff, that's the scriptures. All right? It's for guidance and correction. All right, but it's going to comfort you, man. But it's just showing you that that's the uttermost part of the earth, that low land. You know? And everything you see around you is just a reflection of the grade of this society, bro. Styrofoam cups, paper cups, you know, short-term relationships,
plastic.
Yep. Nothing is absurdity, man. You know?
Real quick, Wisdom of Solomon 4:11. You got it.
This is Hosea. You know, Hosea 4:1. Hit the words of Yahweh Shai, the children of Israel. For the Most High had a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there's no truth, no mercy, no knowledge of Yahweh Shai in the land.
Yeah, we went into it. Yahweh Shai was crucified.
That's it.
So what's the end result?
You got it. I'm sorry.
You know, so what's the end result of that? People just going off their own devices.
Yeah.
Which is going to lead to death.
Yeah.
The only thing that separates us from these little tribal little islands is that this is a first world country. Because it said Babylon had been a golden cup in the eyes of the Most High. So the Most High exalted a caveman's kingdom.
Yeah.
All right, but really everybody's basically a little primitive demons, man. You know?
Verse 2, by swearing, lying, killing, stealing, committing adultery, breaking out, blood touching blood.
Low grade ass place. We're in a low grade ass society, man. And this is why I told the brother to bring this out. Wisdom of Solomon 4:11 real quick.
This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 11. Yea, speedily was he taken away.
Now this is going back into the time of Enoch, because at that time of Enoch, it was a low grade, it was evil and wickedness. So the Lord had to do what? Translate Enoch the fuck up out of there. Well, that's what the Lord is going to do for the righteous, because we hate a Bible shop. A brother can get Habakkuk 1. All right.
And your brothers can start getting their scriptures.
Go ahead.
Lest that wickedness should alter his understanding.
See, lest wickedness alter the understanding. So the things that we think is good and think that was cool when we grew up was acceptable, you know. But it was really a witchcraft, man. Nothing had the mindset of Yahweh Shem Shai. It was always kill to be killed, a kill or be killed mentality, you know. Go ahead.
Or deceit beguiled his soul.
Or deceit beguiled the soul. Okay, but deceit through do it thy will. YOLO, the medium, the movies, black exploitation. Who's going in about the crack in the 80s? You know, who's going in about the different movies like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, and things like that, man. You know, the less wickedness shall alter our understanding. Go ahead.
For the bewitching of naughtiness,
the bewitching, that's the witchcraft. The bewitching of naughtiness. Go ahead.
Enchantments. You know, like going into like the media. Yep. The media enchants you to be a deviant. Yep. Going back to Cardi B culture, thought culture, black culture, you have been bewitched to be like Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
You've been bewitched to be like Lil Durk. Yeah. You know, that's the bewitching of naughtiness, man.
Yep.
Doing obscure things that are honest.
And who's honest? The Israelites are honest. We're those innocent sheep. Okay? Go ahead.
And the wandering of the concupiscences,
which means what? Wicked, illicit lust. You see? So everything is geared to the flesh.
Where did the word Cupid from?
Yep, Cupid. Yeah. Goddamn Cupid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
Another enchantment.
Yep.
do it undermine the simple mind.
Yep, it does undermine the simple mind. You know? So when we grow up in this society as being innocent, everything around us is dark. And by default, our minds is gearing. Yeah, we still got, see, this is why the scriptures speak about us becoming a new man and shaving off the old man, because we still got the trace of that bullshit that's within us. And this is what was to correct it. You see?
Our rod and our staff.
That's it, the rod and our staff. And what? The valley of the shadow of death. You know? Is it some more than that? Oh, yeah, you're right. That's it. That's it on that.
Habakkuk 1 and 2.
Start from, I think 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Habakkuk 1 and 4.
Yeah.
All right. The book of Habakkuk 1 and 4. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth.
You know, probably go up a little bit.
You need to start at 1?
Yeah.
Habakkuk 1 and 1. The burden of Habakkuk the prophet did see. O Yahweh, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save.
See? Because we are in what? We're in Babylon all over again.
Hey, that's that virgin crime.
Yep, that's it.
You know, the 1/3 is like that virgin, you know, it was a topic you got on.
And it said the burden that Habakkuk did see. Habakkuk sees the burden. He sees this place. Violence, evil, wickedness. And this is him crying out. And just like we're doing, we're crying out. Okay, he's going to get into what he's crying out about. Go ahead.
All right, even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. Verse 3. Why dost thou show me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are they raised up strife and contention.
All of the evil spirits, the vibrations, the people that comes up against the men of the Lord, the righteous, you know. And our spirits is getting bothered. We wake up, you know, we go into certain areas and we like, what the fuck, I'm annoyed at all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Therefore, the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth.
The law is slack, and judgment never go forth, man.
Love everybody except all.
Yep.
Hey, real quick, since you said that this link up with it. You know, hey, because when the scripture talk about, you know, they that thirst for righteousness, that's those men who thirst for righteous judgment to go forth.
Right.
Like, we can't wait to see the righteous judgment to go forth in the earth.
So you said that it hit 144.
Come on, man.
That's right.
Now, when you go to Psalms 119 and 26, this is a cry, you know, from David. And look what he's saying. This is Psalms 119 and 26. It says, "It is time for thee, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, to work, for they have made void thy law." So now it's time for the Most High Judge to put in work, man. Right? You see, the Most High finna put in work in the earth, man.
That's right.
That's what's coming down the pipe. It's pure judgment, man. That's right. Most High gonna put the prophets up, and then judgment just gonna go forth. All these, because right now this is the courtroom set. The prophets is setting the standard for righteousness and for wickedness, and you're gonna fall on either side. So when the prophets get put up, you've been explained on what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. So when the prophets get put up and the judgment go forth, it's gonna be according to what side you on.
When the scriptures speak about in Revelation, how we're gonna get the white stones, those white stones, and that goes back into being innocent, you know. And when you get, I believe in the history of it, when you go into the history of the Roman Empire, when you receive the black stone, that means guilty of death.
Yep.
So we're gonna get the white stone.
Show them Spartacus. That show them Spartacus. About them stones, that show them Spartacus.
Open your hand up and it's a white stone.
Yeah, it's a white stone. Innocent.
Yep.
Good. It's covered. Good.
Yep.
That black stone, death. You're guilty. You're gonna be destroyed. We're gonna get the white stone. See, we're getting the white stone by doing this work. You got it, bro.
Habakkuk 1:4. Therefore the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceeded. You know? So hey, that's why Scripture says the wicked walk on every side when the valorous men are exalted. So Esau's in rulership. All right, therefore look at the state of man on the planet Earth. Now it tells you in Sirach, the 10th chapter, roughly paraphrasing, that the way of the people, the state of the people is the vibration of the king. The way of the king, all right, trickles down to the mindset of the people, man. All right, there's no judgment, man. All right, because going back to Ecclesiastes 10:6-7, all right, I have seen princes sitting as servants and servants in his prisons. So there's no judgment going forth because Esau's not keeping the laws. All right? But yeah, brothers, we're going to get the last scripture. We're ready to wrap it up.
I'm good.
That First John, we ain't gonna know.
All right, this is 1 John
5:19.
5:19. We know that we are of the Most High.
Yep.
And the whole world lied in wickedness.
The whole world lies in wickedness, man.
That's
whole
the
society.
sums it up right there. Sums it up.
But now we see what that wickedness is. Because basically wickedness is you're not keeping the laws, but the world lies in wickedness because the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai is not on the planet Earth. So until Yahweh Shema Shai comes, it's going to be like watching Animal Planet on the planet Earth. It is a dog eat dog world. Because now we know what it means when it says that they live after the flesh. You know, we was once as the Gentiles after the flesh. Right? You go into the flesh, you go into a beastly animal nature. All right, departed from the Most High. You know, the whole world lied in wickedness. Right? Wisdom of Solomon 14. Right? You know, so hey, with that, hey, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. I know I was. Once again, we want to give out and glory to
Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Kakadash.
Double honors to our apostles, great millstone, rule well. Peace and blessed to the house of David, the elect. Abba, come and shalom.
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 That was perfect. The iron and the clay.
Yeah, low grade,
Great,
low grade, man.
Man, that was bad. Water.
Yeah, water.